Minnesota Wild continuing their brief three-game homestand at XL Energy Center here tonight on Thursday. Happy Thursday to everyone. The Vancouver Canucks, they are here in town. Did a little history searching here for you. Nice little fact. This is the first time in the history of the Minnesota Wild that the Vancouver Canucks are visiting St. Paul without a Sedin on the active roster. That's right. From the very beginning, the Wild have hosted the Canucks, and there has always been a Sedin on the roster, but no more. You'd think that's a good thing, because the Sedins always roasted the Wild when they hooked up, but it appears that Elias Pettersson is taking that mantle for the Vancouver Canucks. In their first meeting, the rookie had a pair of goals, was absolutely electric against the Wild. And you may have just recently read, but Elias Pettersson has been called out by a guy by the name of Gretzky as a lot of similarities to him. So not too bad for your first month and a half in the National Hockey League. Also in the Vancouver Canucks, they are a very high goal-scoring team. 63 goals this year, tied for third in the National Hockey League. Problem is, they give up a lot of goals. They are 30th in the league in goals allowed so far this year. The not so nice 69 for them. Key for Minnesota is obviously just pepper the net like they did in the first game. If the Wild get 37, 38 shots on goal like they did in Vancouver at the end of October, you have to like their chances with either if it's Jacob Markstrom or I can't think of their backup goalie, but either way, you got to take their odds if they can do that again, especially in the wake of Minnesota's loss to Washington on Tuesday night. You got to think the Wild come back with a good bounce-back effort after that. Vancouver right now in the middle of they're ending a 6-game road trip. They have lost 4 out of 5. They're averaging nearly 4 goals allowed in those games. So again, if the Wild can pepper the net like they did against Vancouver in their first meeting this year, you have to like their odds, particularly because goaltending and defense not too good so far on this road trip for the Vancouver Canucks. Some other players to watch. We highlighted Elias Pettersson. He has 10 goals, 17 assists on this season already. And then there's Bo Horvat. He has 9 goals for the Canucks. And then Jake Virtanen with 8 goals for the Canucks. Those 3 are really the driving force of their offense. So key for Minnesota is to shut those 3 down here tonight. And on the flip side for Minnesota, look out for Mikko Koivu. He's got 7 points in his last 5 games, doing it kind of quietly. Nobody seems to be noticing of that, particularly when he does well. And then Matt Dumba with a goal on Tuesday night. He is now tied for second in the National Hockey League amongst defensemen with 6 goals. However, his 9 points, just third best on the Minnesota Wild, and defensemen behind Mr. Spurgeon and Mr. Suter, his defensive partner. So take a look at that. Devan Dubnyk, questionable maybe for tonight. He was not at practice on Wednesday. He had a couple of stingers on Tuesday night against the Washington Capitals. So we'll be curious to see if Dubnyk gets the nod tonight or if Bruce Boudreau just decides give Dubnyk just a full-on night off and have Alex Stalock take charge in the net. So that's something to keep your eye on here today as well. If you have any thoughts or predictions on this game, go right ahead and fire them into the comments. We would love to hear your thoughts on this game here tonight. And then we will obviously be chatting with you post-game. So we will chat with you later. See ya.